All right, peace and blessings, assalamu alaikum, shalom. Thank you, family, for watching this video today. So, as you know, I did the two videos on Woman King, and reading the comments, I decided, well, let me go ahead and deal with these, because they're very good comments, very good questions, very good outlooks on it. Right? But there's one thing that we always got to remember, and this is the thing that always sticks in my mind, right, of how I do things. I'm always shooting for making sure I get the attention of the lowest person, meaning not, a person that don't know what I know, don't know what we know. Somebody that's brand new to just searching whatever and come across a video. I put it so that they will be able to understand it, bite on it, and keep it moving. Roll with it and keep it moving, right? That they don't just throw it to the side, that it's something that will stick into their minds. So we got to understand the lay of the land, right? Because we are the doctors, we are the healers, we are the front line, we are the ones that's, out here fighting against the enemy. We are the ones who cast truth at falsehood till we knock out its brains, right? We cast truth at falsehood until we knock out its brains. When we're dealing with the Woman King, and there's so many things in there that we can bounce on, so many things that we can pounce on, looking at it from the perspective of the perfect, looking at it from the perspective of us who have the knowledge, right? We can look at it and take this apart and take this apart and, show that, yeah, they even had the one brother who looked like he was a homosexual. And he was somebody around the king, but he looked like, he was a homo. He gave off that vibe that he was a homosexual. So there's always things that we can take apart coming with knowledge, because we know. And we can advise our people not to go see the movie. They're going to go see it anyway, right? They're going to go see it anyway. So we have to be able to look at the movie, see what it is, and then reteach our people the truth of the movie and break it down, because they're going to go watch it. The more we tell them, don't go watch it, the more they see it being advertised and it is interesting, they're going to go watch it. So it is weaponry that they're using to push their agenda. Yes, with the homosexual right there as an advisor to the king or somebody close to the king, letting you come away with the idea of, yeah, they had the homosexuals back then and it was okay and No, we teach the truth of it. We teach the truth of it. And so we got to be able to use every weapon at our disposal. Yep, we can say that there was a white woman who wrote the script. Yep, she sure did. But that ain't gonna stop people from go seeing it. It may stop you from go seeing it, but it ain't gonna stop our people from going to see it because a cracker wrote it. Mostly every movie that they go see, a cracker wrote. Now, was in a debate a few years, more than a few years ago, when Minister Farrakhan said that Tyler Perry is a spiritual giant. Maurice Muhammad. Hello? Sorry about that, family. And the minister said that Tyler Perry is a spiritual giant. And a lot of people heard that, oh, and they just went crazy. And so I was on War on the Horizon, Brother Irritated Genie, and I was debating one of his members. And after I got done explaining it, teaching it properly, then he said, in the middle of the debate, oh, okay, well, I understand. Well, yeah, if you're going to see it that way, then yeah, the minister's right. Debate over. Debate is over. Everything that the enemy does is scheduled for our degradation and their upliftment. And we have to be able, again, playing chess, not checkers. See, because the checker move is, yeah, don't go see it. That's the checker move, right? Or I talk about homosexuality, or those are the checker moves. But the chess move, you know they're going to go see it anyway. You go see it. So you'll know how to teach what the reality is versus the BS. But you'll never be able to teach it if you don't go see it. You'll never be able to properly break it down to give it to our people in a way that will inspire them that at the moment of decision to do what you got to do. Why do I say inspire them? Because you have to inspire them. You have to inspire them to be able to have them reach for what is right. You want to inspire them to get out of the muck and mire, get off of the fence, and get into the fight. So it's always a calculated risk when the enemy brings something out of the past that most of our people had no knowledge of and use it to bring it to the forefront, because now the wise among us can take that and turn it up and teach it in a way to inspire our people to action. Because when you're out here dealing with our people, they know make-believe. Yeah, we're going to go build Wakanda. Hey, look at you, nigga, that was make-believe. I ain't got time to play games with you. But when you say your sisters and brothers over there in Africa, no matter whether it's Dahomey or some other place, they fought that cracker. And they whooped that ass. There's plenty of places that you can name. And they beat the cracker's ass. No matter if you want to talk about Ethiopia, they fought. They fought all over Africa. They fought. Now, they were outgunned because they had the white man had the armament that gave them the edge and the victory in the war. He gave them the armament. So having that type of firepower versus a spear or an arrow, ain't no real comparison. A knife, sword, ain't no real comparison. Like they say, you don't bring a knife to a gunfight. You don't bring a knife to a gunfight. And that's what that was. That was they had knives and the cracker had guns. Eventually you're going to lose. So we got to be able to play chess and make these strategic moves, because strategic moves is what the enemy uses on you. It's what the enemy uses on you. And so we got to be able to understand it. We got to be able to push back. We got to be able to outmaneuver them. We got to be able to outmaneuver them. Because anything else is self-defeating. It's self-defeating. This is warfare. And in warfare, you got to do what you got to do to make it happen. And if you don't, if you mistake the proper use of your weapons, of your materials, then it's no wonder why you get slaughtered. Because you playing checkers while your enemy is playing chess. Strategizing and thinking 3, 4, 5, 6 moves ahead. And this is what we have to do in order to be successful. We got to outthink them. We got to outthink them. We build up enough hype to make something of no value, value. We build it up and make it valuable. We build it up and make it mysterious. We build it up and make it attractive. How much do we say you shouldn't eat pork? Will people stop eating pork? Nope. They eating it, they loving it, they loving their pig feet, their hog head cheese, their pig ribs and all of that. Even though you tell them, hey, that's killing you. That ain't no good for you. I mean, it's to the point where we actually need to get a piece of bacon or whatever, get a pork product, put it under the glass, and let it sit and let a camera stay on it so that they can see the worms come out of it. To let them understand, hey, this is what you're eating. This is what you're eating. It's all about having the proper strategy. All about having the proper strategy. Because the enemy is at war 24/7, coming up with ways and plots to keep you asleep. And so we have to be better than them in our job of waking you up. This is warfare. And it does require strategy. Anything less than that is not going to make it. It's just not. That's just the reality of it. we sit back and think about where we are and where we need to go and how we need to get there and the numbers it will take, that requires strategy. Because you're not going to get every black person to be on the same frame. And you don't need every black person to be on the same frame. You just don't need it. But you need enough to be able to listen and to move when you say move. That's what you need. You hear we got the elections coming up, and down there in Georgia, they Herschel Walker this, Herschel Walker that, Herschel Walker this, Herschel Walker that. That coon-ass nigga running for the Senate versus Reverend, I don't remember what the Reverend name is, but Reverend Chickenfoot. And not to be disrespectful, but I'm just use Reverend Chickenfoot. So here you have Herschel Walker, who done lied and said he was a member of the FBI, lied and said that he was on the police force or something like that. There's a little clip Herschel Walker saying, well, you know, I'm just a little country boy. You know, I'm just a little dumb country boy. I ain't, you know, up for no real debates and all this. You know, so he probably embarrassed me. Don't you go for that. Don't you go for that. They know what they throwing out there. Here is Stacey Adams running for governor again. And Steve Harvey and all of them entertainers, they want you to vote for her. They want you to vote for her. What's her position? She want to make Georgia a sanctuary state. She don't give a damn about you, me, us. But they galvanize it and hitting the band like Stacey Adams is your savior. Stacey Adams ain't black first. Stacey Adams ain't black only. Stacey Adams is not pro-black. Stacey Adams doesn't have your best benefit. She just doesn't. So no, I'm not advocating that you vote for whoever she's running against, the current governor, because he ain't got your best interest at heart either. So you don't vote. Or if you want to go and just exercise your right, write your own name in there. Write somebody else's name in there. Fuck it, write my name in there. Then you're sending a message. You're sending a message. And if you get enough people to write somebody else's name in there, then they say, oh, shucks. These niggas waking up. They're coming into their own understanding of their own self-interest. Because the Republicans nor the Democrats nor the independents represent you, speak for you, work for you. It's just like you send your children. We send our children out here to these school systems. And when you get them home, you got to re-educate them on what it is to be black. You got to re-educate them on what the realities are. It's a process that's a never-ending process. It only ends when the enemy is off the planet, when you are in power and you make what go and what don't go. But until then, you got to stay vigilant and you got to continue to do your part. And don't think, oh, just because I sent my child off to school to get an education, that it's the teacher's job to teach them. Don't think that. Don't be fooled by that. You better understand what your job is when it comes to your children. And don't put off your responsibility off on somebody else. Well, you the teacher. You should have been teaching it. But you the mother. And you the first teacher. You're the father. When my children were growing up, look at it. I conducted class. They had their little desk next to my desk, and I broke out books and I taught them. Even my little baby girl, Freedom, even she was there. Learning. And she wasn't even, as they say, quote unquote, old enough to attend school. But she was at her desk. And I was teaching them, Message to the Black Man, Supreme Wisdom, going into these things to give them that foundation. Because it's your responsibility as a parent, my responsibility as a parent, to make sure these things happen. You better make sure they're keeping their responsibility to you. So we always got to go in and break it down and teach it. Just like the Django. Based in truth. Based in truth. The black man didn't get to save his wife, but he tried. He was killed when John Brown and them took Harper's Ferry. But even in the Django, where every cracker dies, even the so-called, quote-unquote, nice ones, all of them died. You heard white folks coming out there and say, oh, that movie made me sick to my stomach. Why did it make you sick to your stomach? Simply because this is the first time you've seen a movie where a black man kills every white man in the movie. Destroys Candyland. They burn it down. Because you understood that was your reality. And when you saw, as we talked about yesterday, the part where Django was whooping that cracker. Shapow! Shapow! And the black slaves was, ooh, 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 did you see that? Wow! And Django picked up the gun. He said, y'all want to see something? Walked over to the cracker. Pow, 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 pow. What was that about? Y'all want to see something? Now, me watching the movie, and I'm sitting there, and I'm watching it, and I was just caught up in it. And he was shooting, and I was in the movie theater. Yeah! That's right! Kill them all, goddammit. You know how it is, you up in church and the pastor be teaching and you want to shout, yes! And you want to get out there and start, doing the dance. Well, that's how your brother was at watching that movie. I wanted to do the dance. Because it was good, not just for me to visually see it, but good for me to feel it. Watching Woman King, when they took the fight to them, it was good to see it, to see the slavers being slaughtered. It was good to see the fight. It was good to see the battle. I mean, it was hard when you had the ones who died. You liked them. You didn't want them to die, but they died in battle. A glorious death. They died in battle. And it also talked about being disciplined enough to follow instructions. To follow instructions. Because you're a soldier. And when you don't follow instructions, sometimes people die. But again, my overall of the movie, that it was a good movie. It's a good movie. And we can deconstruct it. We can, you know, you should be having live streams to break it apart, teach the reality, show where the enemy is trying to influence you to accept a way of life that is death itself, that is homosexuality. That is homosexuality. Oh, traffic is just so darn slow. These are the subtle things that we have to be able to defeat. Because our people are going to go and they're going to listen, they're going to watch. But they'll need somebody to interpret what they just saw. And that's where you and I come in. We break it down and give them the reality of what it is. So they'll understand. So their children will understand. These are the things that are needed because you don't have your own movie theaters. You don't have your own that can go out there. Oh, well, we do have some out there that do write their own scripts and stuff. And then when they present it to the cracker, if it's too black, too strong, then they got to do what? Add that cream to it. They need to break it down so it's not as strong any longer. It's a warfare that you're a part of. And you got to do more than just say the white man is the devil. You got to do more than just say this lifestyle is a death lifestyle. We got to do more than just that because they're feeding this 24/7. Now, just like the TV show on, I think it's P-Valley. I forget which network thing it's on. Now, P-Valley is in its second season. And P-Valley is ran with homosexuality. Homosexuality, adultery, the whole nine. Ran thick with it. Thick with it. but our people watch it. They watch it, and it normalizes homosexuality. It makes it normal. Just like the movie that Denzel was in there. And I think it was called Philadelphia. Or I think it's called Philadelphia. Where he was a accident lawyer. And Tom Hanks worked in the corporate America, but he was a homosexual and was having sex with men in the bathroom and caught AIDS. And they fired him for it. And so he was suing them because, you know, he was saying it wasn't right for them to fire him. So he was suing them. And no lawyer would take his case. So he wound up going to Denzel, black man, saying, this is my case. Help me win my case. First, Denzel was a little standoffish. I don't know if I want to get involved with that. And they normalized it so much that at the end of the movie, Denzel brought his wife to be around the homosexuals and their behavior. Because it's all right now. It has become normalized. It has become accepted. And so now you see this movement where even big time T.D. Jakes normalizing homosexuality, normalizing it, making it seem right when you know damn well is wrong. When the pastors, these big time pastors like T.D. Jakes, begin to accept outwardly and say God is wrong, but you still follow, you still listening, you still watching it. For what? What is in you that identifies with him, with his message? See, if somebody listens to my message, our message, they can identify with it. It's something in here that they like. It's something in here that they agree with. It's something in here that feeds their soul. What is it that they're talking about that makes our people hearken unto what they're saying? Is it because it's wrapped in a religious cloak? And now they're trying to change the very fundamental nature of God himself? See, the cracker uses so much strategy on you that they know, hey, look, we don't need to do this forever. We do it to a certain time period, then they will do it themselves. They will be the instrument of our message. And we can sit back and watch. We can sit back, like the rich do. They say they sit back and let their money work for them. They ain't got to work, their money do the work. So the cracker ain't got to come out here and do it. You do it for them. You their money. That's why we got to wisen up. We can't do the same damn things we've been doing that don't work. We can't be seeing things out the same old lens that don't see right. We got to take it up a notch and operate on a level that will crush anything that they have. This is the time that we're in now. We got to push higher. We got to push harder. We got to push faster. We got to be more fierce in our message. Because time is of the essence. This is what we got to do. And anything less is unacceptable. It's our time now. As I always say, family, you kill the nigga in you, I'm going to kill the nigga in me, and our God will reign supreme. We are Black first. Today, tomorrow, and forever. Love you, family. Peace and blessings. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom. Strategy. Remember, this is warfare. And we got to win. Love y'all.